Well, what's interesting in regard to that is there have been a couple of articles in the last 6 months that have come out by,
Okay.
I guess, what we might call butch lesbians who
Oh,
are complaining about the same dynamic.
really?
Yes, they're complaining about the lack of affection. They're complaining about being taken for granted. They're complaining about having to protect and provide in relationships with other women, and they're not being any kind of reciprocation that meets their. It's an interesting dynamic. So even when you have women who are supposedly, replacing men in certain dynamics and acting out what we would call a traditional male role, they're complaining about the same things that men have complained about. So it's interesting to see.
If I was a man, every woman would want me because I would just love and cherish them and tell them how beautiful and precious they were. And kiss them on their foreheads. Play with their hair, buy them gifts, take them to nice dinners, spoil them, worship them, and make sure that every day that they knew that they were the most magical and beautiful creature in the world. Yeah, if I was a man, I would do that.
No, you wouldn't, because you'd be in prison. Nobody would want you to do those things, so they'd be against the law.
It's weird that you men can't keep these women around.
Yeah, real weird.
I'm having a bit of a tough day today, so I thought that I'd share that. Even though I'm the person who initiated the divorce, I'm feeling some jealousy because my ex is really out there working it. Not necessarily that he's looking for a girlfriend, but he's definitely working on building his social network, and that includes women. And even though I don't want to be with him anymore in that way, it still triggers jealousy and pain. I know he's suffering and, he's dealing with the rejection that he feels because I'm the one who is leaving.
Oh, you done fucked up, lady.
Just a married, pregnant mom, but I still shaved my entire body for this concert just in case. If that wasn't disgusting enough, take a look at these comments. Are the chances low? Yes, but are never zero. So you're saying there's a chance. This is a married mother with a child. 33 weeks pregnant with twins, but that will not stop me. You got this, mama. Married woman with a baby on the way. Girl, my husband said you're 2 weeks postpartum. Why don't you just wear leggings? Excuse me, sir, you think leggings are appropriate attire for meeting my boyfriend for the first time? Funny thing is that she turned comments off for her video, but too late, sweetheart. I saw them, and now we've all seen them. Also, I gave you a more appropriate shirt since you love being a...
All right, ladies, if you're a stay-at-home mom and your backup plan in case of divorce is your ex-husband is going to pay alimony and child support, listen up. When I filed for divorce for my ex-husband, he was making over $200,000 a year. I kicked him out in October of 2018. He paid me nothing.
So wait a second. You left your husband. No, you didn't leave him. You told him to get out of the house that he paid for you and y'all children. I want a divorce. Get out. But you expected him to willfully just keep paying for your life. Victim much? Because it sounds to me like you made a decision without having anything in place to make it a good decision. And now you're looking at your husband, who you told to get the out, to keep paying for your life.
Don't you find her behavior a little odd?
We're currently going through divorce. It's really hard. It's really hard because we want the girls to be okay. I feel like Dita's struggling. She's angry. And I feel like she doesn't feel like she has control of her life. But you did really good. We did so good. We really showed up for her today. We did such a good job holding space for her, and just allowing her to feel. But that doesn't mean it didn't hurt us. It's hard. I drove home today, and it just hit hard that we're alone right now. Mom and Dad is still in New Zealand. Ari's still in New Zealand. We have no family here. So, we tried to call Dad, but he didn't pick up. That's okay. So we're doing this. We're gonna try and get through this. And I hope that in a few months from now, or a year from now, I can look back, we can look back, you can look back, and see that even though this is really hard for us, that we pushed through. And hopefully you can appreciate just the strength that we had to come up with to get to where you are right now. If this is going to help anybody else, just a reminder to be gentle with yourself. Just a reminder to be gentle with yourself. Shit gets really hard sometimes, and it's okay to cry. Yeah, just don't forget to remember your words, live in your truth, be confident, accepting, whole and present.
That looks so fake.
Seems like she's giving herself a pep talk. I feel alone. I have, nobody here, and I need help, basically. But I think a lot of men go through the same thing, but it gets sensationalized, and commercialized. And we're put up on display for criticism. And really that's all it is. You have men's rights advocates trying to fight the good fight. But a lot of these modern women out here are saying, oh, you deserve that. This is what you deserve because of X, Y, and Z. And you're not lonely enough. Right? So I just hope that when men express these same things, they get the same sort of support and feedback.
What age women do you date?
23 to 33.
How old are you?
I'm be 53 this year.
Do you date women your own age?
No. I'm not attracted to them. There's very few that are really attractive. I mean, I didn't make this world. It's just the way it is. A girl's not attracted to you if you don't have money.
Why does it stop at 33?
Because if you get into a nice long relationship, you've got at least 10 years where you're really attracted to her.
Boy, does this 50-plus-year-old man give it to them raw in this video. He tells the truth from his perspective, but it's not far off from every man's perspective. Women need to understand that men value in a woman youth. Men value youth. Now, some people have said it's because it's fertility. Others have said it's because women are at the peak of their beauty. Whatever the reason is, the fact is men still value youth. This is why the propaganda for women, the feminist propaganda, American feminist propaganda that told women to use the male template for careers and then start looking for a relationship in their mid-30s to late 30s, that doesn't make sense if you understand men. And that's why we have so many single women in their 30s and their 40s, which have little to no chance of finding that man because men simply aren't looking for women in their 30s and 40s to be their first wives. Now, maybe if you're the third wife, maybe if you're the second wife, maybe you may have a chance in your 30s and 40s, but 40-year-old men aren't looking for 40-year-old women. 35-year-old men aren't looking for 35-year-old women, and so on and so on. It is a harsh reality, but if you accept it and make your decisions based on the knowledge, you should be okay.
Men are so easy to please. I mean, the list is pretty short. And I'm not talking about Flash Your Man all the time and a blowjob week. Does she make you feel important? And does she, even more importantly, does she make you look important? Does she elevate your status? Do you know what I mean, you guys, when I'm saying elevate your status? Does she make you look important to other people? That's what you really, really need in a woman at the end of the day. That is what's going to make her a 10 out of anything. Those are the qualities that you need. She needs to be able to elevate your status and make you look and feel important. Find a woman like that and you have the perfect wife.
I'm alone with my son, by myself, a woman, and a male approached me in a parking lot. He's, "Excuse me, miss," and I don't know why in the hell he was approaching me or what he was trying to do. And before he was probably 30 feet from me when he said, "Excuse me, ma'am." And I turned around and I literally yelled at him and I said, "Do not approach me." And he immediately started going in the other direction. And I just kept saying it over and over.
A little over the top, don't you think?
The thing about the war going on against the Chopped Man epidemic girl is that she's actually quite beautiful.
I'm gonna have to do a longer video on this one. This is the Chopped Man epidemic girl. Beautiful. Here's another video about it.
Basically, in this video, she is saying that we're going through a chop man epidemic, and she saw an attractive guy and honestly made her day because that's how rare it is for her to see an attractive man out in public.
And of course, the comments on the chopped man girl video are "you the wrong messenger," always the 4s. And the comments on this video are the same one. Is a 3 trying to save a 4, so it's still always the 4s they're now talking about her. If you do not understand this diagram yet, you're not going to get a better example. All of the women that you can find complaining about the chopped men are in this range. And they don't like the men in their own range. They call them chopped, which means ugly. And they go after these men who will use them for a short time and not commit. And then these women cannot get these men to commit. That's how society breaks down. These women get their hearts broken over and over by trying for men who will never actually like them. These women can't prevent these men from cheating with them because it's just extra women. And then these men get nothing at all and everyone's miserable. That's how society dies. And it is all because of women like this, telling women like this that they are beauty queens who deserve the best. And that's all explained by this diagram. Who is a 10 status games? This everyone is beautiful thing that they do. It is a strategy. The ones on the bottom say you're a 10 to the ones in the middle who say you're a 10 to the ones on the bottom. And even the ones who are actually 10s have to say everyone is beautiful because women don't come out in the open and have direct competition. They play nice for self-protective purposes. And they are collectively negotiating to take a shot at the top men. That's all it is. So this girl does not actually believe that this girl is conventionally beautiful. She's just saying it so that she can also be conventionally beautiful in order to justify rejecting the men on her level and shooting higher. And then nobody gets married and has kids. Here's 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. It's 30 years later. So we're all gonna die now because the mids get to be mouthy. This is the face of death, of civilization.
Unfortunately, you have this correct. These modern women continue to talk. They continue to lie to themselves. Later on in the video, a woman said, my daughters or my kids and my husband, ex-husband, made my life harder. No, you did. You made your life harder by lying to yourself. Because you're a liar and you live in a world of delusion and fantasy. And this is what we're seeing from these women here. They live in a world of fantasy and delusion, and they're not going to get married because they decide that they don't want to take accountability for the stupid stuff that they say. And they're expecting a man to actually go along with the stupidity as well.
Is it just me? Yes. Is it just me, or do men not approach women anymore? Like, I'm not the approaching type. I can't approach anyone. But I saw some fine men. Did you see some?
I did.
Yeah, we just went to Black on a Block in Texas. Gorgeous men, but none of them approached me, and I'm not the approaching type. I can't do it. But if you approach me, I am nice. I'm just about to be single for forever.
You wonder why men no longer approach. Well, do you modern women give men any incentives to approach you?
Nope. I don't need to post half-naked pictures of myself on social media. I'm someone's future wife. Isn't this you? And this? And this? And this? Like, there we go. That's a lot better. Be careful of these supposed Christian trad women that are just grifting you. Is the internet still calling you fat? No. The internet's still calling you a hoe.
Stop approaching women when they're alone.
No, men are weird. Stop talking to women you don't know.
Do not approach a woman who did not inspire that. No.
I hate when men approach women.
So should a guy ever approach a girl in public?
I don't think so, no.
Is it too direct for like a stranger to come off the street or in a restaurant to say, oh, I think you're really interesting and get your number there? Is that?
Of course, because I had this type of situations. It's weird.
Women should be naked as much as possible. Who even sleeps with clothes on these days? She should be bare-ass naked in that bed. We also should just walk around the house naked and cook naked, but Watch out for bacon. And one of the most important times to be naked is when you're saying goodbye to your man when he leaves work in the morning, because you need to give him a naked hug. Studies show that 100% of men like when their woman takes her clothes off. So don't deny science. Just be naked.
Guys, women are not cooking anymore. Women are not cooking anymore. My grandma does not cook. My mom does not cook. I don't cook. I don't know what's going on, but the generations are just like, we don't want to cook anymore. Every time a man asks me if I can cook, I'm gonna just start saying no, because I don't know why I'm lying. I can't. I don't even cook for myself. The women aren't cooking. I don't know if this is a new epidemic. I don't know if it's just me and my family, but the women aren't cooking, babe.
And you just laid out the lineage of why you don't cook. Your mom doesn't cook, and her mom didn't cook. Your grandmother did not cook. So all it was a tradition, or a curse, if you would, however you view it, that was passed down. And it doesn't make any sense, because you as a human have to eat for yourself. And it's always healthier and it's always more economical for you to make your own food. So it makes sense, especially in this economy, that you know how to cook, because you would save a lot of money from eating out and going out.
They don't care about that. They just care about saying stupid stuff on the internet. That's really all this is. Just why would you say this? I mean, not even looking for a man, not even looking to please a man or get a man. Why do y'all think lacking skills is a flex? Why do y'all think that that's something that y'all should be proud of? I mean, oh, I got a man and I didn't do any of that. And then the relationship break down. Oh, I got married and I didn't have to do any of that. Oh, he does this, he does that. Relationship break down. Fool around and break down. Women sit up there. I'm thinking about one woman, unfortunately, they're divorced now. I think they might have been married for like 4 or 5 years. Divorced because she decided, I mean, to be fair, they told him. To be fair, they told him, hey, she's got some stuff that ain't quite right. Maybe you ought to hold off. Wouldn't keep a job. Well, wouldn't really cook. And then when they got married, had the first child and decided she didn't want to go back to work at all. No timetable, no nothing. I'm not going back to work. So this man basically had to eat out all the time. Got to the point to where the restaurant, he came in so much, got to a point to where the restaurant knew him by name. And I know that's usual for regulars, but if you got a wife who's at home all the time, why are you a regular? I can't see if they getting to know you over a span of like 5 years. 5 years of you coming in, oh man, I see this guy. And you just you become accustomed to that person. But if you coming in there every week, at least you already got your schedule. I'm gonna go to this restaurant this day. I'm gonna go to this restaurant this day. I'm gonna go to this restaurant this day. That shouldn't be. That shouldn't be at all. You got to step up. And you bragging about this is foolish.
No man should desire for himself or his family to be vulnerable or in a vulnerable position. Most people today use vulnerability to mean emotional openness or transparency. But the actual definition of vulnerability means susceptible to danger, harm, or even death. So when men are told, be vulnerable, what they hear subconsciously is lower your defenses. And that's why so many men recoil when they hear the word. And this isn't a matter of semantics. Your heart was never meant to be unguarded. For it is written, above all else, guard your heart with all vigilance. That's why I tell men, don't be vulnerable, be transparent. Vulnerability says, you can wound me. Transparency says, you can see through me while I show you who I really am.
It's the best thing about me. Some of y'all might think it's the game I give up. The best thing about me is when I'm wrong, I can take it to the chin and I can go make changes. Notice I ain't stop at just take it to the chin. I can go make changes. My follow through is crazy. I can feel shame, guilt, process them feelings, may even feel some type of way that you called me out. but I can see the value through the feelings and come back better than what I was before. And guess what? I can be okay if you don't want to with me after what I originally did, but I can take that straightening and be better. So even if we ain't around each other, when you look up and you see me out in life, not around you, just know I took that lesson, I ate that, and I use it to make myself better. That is my number one thing on picking people. This is why the circle closest you has to have truth first, the social etiquette second, and then that outer circle. That's when you come with social etiquette first and truth when absolutely necessary. Y'all don't understand the balance in this, and most of what you get from life and what you give is lies.
Message. Whose job is it to set order in the house?
It's the man's job.
The man.
So in order to set order, you have to have control.
No, you have to manage.
No, you got to
no, control is like a robot.
Well,
no, it ain't. That's what you hear. Control is not like a robot. You have to have control. Like when you go to work, this woman said this all the time. Women are always talking about they don't want a man to control them. But you go to a job and they tell you what time to be there. Right. They tell you what time to take a break. They tell you can't use your phone. You always submit to money, but you won't submit to love. Submit to money, but won't submit to love. How you gonna deal with that? Because you will submit, you will give up your control. Right. Even when they ain't even paying you what they should be paying you. Right. You still showing up. Even when they give somebody else a job you know you should have had, your ass still showing up. So you know how to give up your control. You hold your tongue when they talking crazy. So it ain't out of your element. It's just that you have a higher priority. You submit to money because that's the only reason you're doing it. Keeping your composure. Because once you get a new job, you really see you. No, you could. But like, you know how to submit. You know how to give up your control. But why not for love and the person that's supposed to die for you or be the first person to be sacrificed for you?
You can, and there's nothing wrong with that. But however,
when you go to a job, don't they tell you how you should dress?
Yeah, they have power.
Don't they tell you about your fingernails and how long they can be?
Yeah.
You can't wear certain hairstyles at jobs. You better put on that damn head net. And don't you do it?
I miss having a husband. And I miss my husband. I don't want just any husband. I want my husband. Mine. Miss mine. I miss mine. Mine. I don't know why. I'm really stuck. No, you guys are sick of this. You guys are so sick of this. I don't blame you. I don't know how to replace my husband. I don't know how. I'm lonely. I'm sad. I miss my family.
Popping your balloon.
I'm taller than you.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You got on heels. I don't think you are.
These are kitten heels. Imagine if I had 3 or 4 inch heels on.
You're still not taller than me.
I think I'm taller than you.
No, you're not. Let's see.
You want to stand back to back? We can do this.
You are not taller than him. Not even close. No. You're way shorter. And how tall are you?
I'm 5'9".
5'9", and you are?
6'1".
Oh.
Easily.
Still.
That's all right. That's all cool.
And is she someone that's your type?
Yeah, she's very pretty. She is pretty.
You can't make this stuff up, man. You know, there's men that are going through this and dating in 2025, man. You know, these women with crazy expectations. And I'm telling you right now that a woman that is for you is not going to be acting like that, man. You know, she's not going to be all over the place. Oh, you need to be this tall and make that much money. They're not going to act like that, man. They're going to want the marriage with you. You know, they're going to be there for you. They're going to love you, appreciate you. I mean that. You know, there's men out here that put up with nothing but drama and disrespect and BS, and they don't know how to get out of it, man. You don't have to deal with these women. When they walk away from you and you're dealing with stuff like this, man, it's a blessing from God telling you that that woman was not meant to be in your life. And unfortunately, man, sometimes people have to leave your life. That's just how it's got to go. There's men out here killing themselves over these women, man. I get messages all the time. Al, what do I do? You get up, you get on your grind, homie. Gym, grind, and God. You focus on bettering yourself, man. You know, get in the gym, lock in. If you need help, hit me up, you know, and go to God, man. Talk to God about your problems. Pray about everything. It's the best thing I ever did for myself.
And instead of backing down, mind you, she has heels on. Now imagine if I had 3-inch heels. you would go from 5'9" to like 6 foot. 10, 11, 12. 12 would be 6 foot. So you would still be an inch shorter than him. Well, still. No, it's not still. My bad. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. What are you talking about? They get on here and say anything. Just quit talking. Y'all get up here. I don't know what you be looking at or where you be looking at or what you be looking for, but it's not the right thing.
This is a perfect example of how women just don't listen.
Okay. Why'd you pop?
Oh man, she a beautiful woman. If I was looking for something for long term, but how you present, I've been a man on 2 walks.
Mhm.
I've been a man I'm trying to be right now, and I've been a man that's in the world that accept how you present, and how you present will pull out that side of me that you wouldn't want. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I asked you about your clothes. If I asked you to change the thing that you wear, would you be okay with that?
And I would.
And I heard what you said about, I respect so much what you said about, respecting your temple and temple of God.
Mhm.
But at the same time, the temple of God is more than just your temple, it's your mind. And so with your mind, I would have to ask, why would you wear this when you know men with high testosterone? That turns on the side of a man that you don't want from a man. You understand what I'm saying?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I need a confident man. I need a man that understands that I can wear Poochie.
Yeah.
Okay, because this is Poochie, honey. This is designer. This is YSL. This is Chanel.
Can I say something?
And I can wear designer outfits.
No, you beautiful. Listen, you beautiful, love.
Yeah.
But Poochie gonna make him want the. But you gonna want him to want your person, love.
Yeah, but he can want the. But if he makes it past the mind,
Okay.
he can get the. And
I
that's
got
the,
you.
and that's the problem with men. If men like to judge a book by its cover instead of reading it.
If it look like a sex story, I'm gonna think it's a sex story.
As a heterosexual woman seeking to be with a heterosexual man, and the heterosexual men are telling you the way you are presenting yourself, the way you are dressing, attract the wrong kind of man. The man that won't take you serious, the kind of man that you don't want. But instead of taking heed, you saying, not necessarily. I don't think so. A confident man would want a confident woman. And a confident woman knows that she don't have to be sexy to try to show the world what she working with. Appearance does determine how a man is going to approach you and how he's going to treat you. What's so funny? A lot of the times when these women be coming on these shows, they like to bring up God and say that they're a God-fearing woman. Well, the Bible tells women to dress modest. We're supposed to dress modestly.
And still arguing with him. This man is saying, if you want to be respected, quit dressing. Well, I should be able to still dress like this and to have men respect me. They don't understand that they can get this if they just allow me to dress this way. No. They don't understand if they allow me to go on girls trips and, kind of flirt with a man here and there, then they can get whatever they want. No. They don't understand if they have come across town late at night when knowing they got to get up 4 hours later, they got to come pick me up from across town because I'm sloppy drunk, laying out in the middle of the street, my friends laughing and kikiing and ha-haing. Somebody can come get me, snatch me up, and you'll never see me again. He don't understand if he allows me to do that he can get what's between my legs. Do you hear yourselves? Do y'all hear what y'all be talking about? Because again, it don't be the right thing. The man is trying to give you guidelines and understanding on how to protect yourself and protect your image, and you arguing with him on how to be trashy.
Is it me or is it tragic that the loudest voices on the internet are the most resentful and the most angry at men? Because what a shame it is that people can't share their happiness and love without worrying about other people coming at them. I think we can do a lot of good if we started saying how much we love our husbands.
On this page, we are not anti-male. We are pro-husband. We are not part of the my husband is an idiot wife culture. We speak highly of our husbands because we chose well. We are not anti-woman. We are pro-strong feminine women. If any of that resonates with you, you're in the right place.
Who comes first in a man's life?
His daughter.
You know, I see this all the time. And a lot of people pick their kids over their spouse. Why did you become one with your spouse if you're going to choose your kids over them? Your kids are going to get grown and leave your ass for who they want. And y'all know these people out here, including our generation, will say F they parents and they goddamn siblings and everybody they grew up with for who the hell they want to be with. Because if y'all don't like the person they choosing, guess who they still gonna do? They gonna choose them and just not come around your ass as much. So I say this, first of all, it shouldn't even be a competition between your spouse and your kids to say who you picking first. Your kids should be respecting your spouse regardless if that's their father or not, or if that's their mother or not. They should be respectful to an adult at all times, first of all. So when it comes to my son, he'll never have to question if I'm going to choose him or my spouse over him. Because my spouse is my spouse and my kid is my kid. There's no type of goddamn competition in who to pick and who, all of that. So, like, and because I don't have a disrespectful ass kid to even be put in that situation. But I know at the end of the day, I'm going to let my spouse be the man of the house. My son going to respect him. Are you crazy? Like, I'm just not, y'all just be tripping when y'all say all of these. Because what are you with the person for? What you with them for? Because that's what I want to know. What you with them for? Because when you get old, guess who be there? Your goddamn spouse. Guess who wipe your ass when you get sick? Your goddamn spouse. Yeah, some people do that as kids, but there's a lot of people that's kids that don't do that shit. They don't take care of their parents. Huh.
You know, sometimes they ask these questions purely for social engagement. But the way that I've heard it is, it's supposed to be your spouse, then your kids, right? Because that's your unit, that's your family at that point in time. And then, you know, mama got to come third. mama got to come third. You know, she's not really, she is your family, but she's not your immediate family anymore. And I think for women, they would do good to understand that. I think a lot of single mothers and single fathers, I think they're like, well, you know, my kid is my immediate family, right? And so that gets a little dicey because that's a different dynamic. Well, this is my kid above all else, right? And my kid was with me before I met you. My kid and I are blood. You and I are, eventually we will become one, but that's a dynamic that you have to work through. I think in those situations, it gets kind of dicey because a lot of times a man gets put not even second. So the woman won't say, it goes my kid, then my husband. She'll say it goes me, my kid, the dog or cat, my family, and then my husband. And so I think that's where a lot of the resentment from men with single mothers comes, because you get to be last, but you get in being catered to and being respected, but you get to be first in paying the bills. and that's just not something that men want to be involved in.
My son only tried to rob you, and you took his life. That was an abuse of force, Channy. You must pay for this.
Now, ma'am, you have my condolences, okay? But you over here talking about, oh, they were just coming to rob you. Well, he was just making sure that didn't happen. I'm trying to figure out what is in the Slurpees that y'all are drinking. Stop drinking this cut water. Maybe that's what it is. Cut the cut water out. Because I'm trying to figure out, how is it that we have to allow you to commit crimes against us, and then you cry about it later when you get the recompense? When that karma is automatic, when it happens in a twinkling of an eye, then all of a sudden, listen, ma'am, you should have had that conversation with your child before they left the house. Don't go try to rob anybody, okay? Don't try to kill anybody, okay? This is what you need to be talking about with your children before they go outside, because I know you're not mad at this old man, okay, who is doing nothing but protecting himself. y'all have lost it. Y'all have lost, ma'am, may your children rest in peace. But I'm telling you that we are not going to sit here and just allow y'all to continue to commit crimes and then we just don't do nothing about it. We don't say nothing. That's out. It's a new day, a new dawn, and I'm feeling good. Okay, that's the first thing. Now, in other news, I heard that they got some new underwear. Okay, and this new underwear is supposed to protect you because they done let so many illegal people into the country. This is going on in Europe. I guess they done let so many illegal people in the country that the people have had to, make some new underwear. What I want to tell you is that I personally will not be wearing your underwear. Okay, I will not be wearing your underwear, and I will not be wearing your chastity belt. Because see, here in America, we have ways to safeguard and keep our coochies intact. And we have no problem using the safeguard that we already have. Okay? So y'all over there in Europe or wherever else you at, by all means, y'all wear the underwear, but we ain't wearing it over here. USA, ho, USA.
I am 53 years old, but when I was in my 20s and even in my early 30s, my biggest dream was to be a wife and to be a mother. I wanted to get married, I wanted to have a husband, and then I wanted to have children. And now I'm realizing, I said I'm 53 and I've been divorced now for almost 4 months. Now I'm realizing that having that husband and those children that I long for made my life a lot harder. Before I had the husband, before I had the children, I just was thinking of this wonderful dream of being a wife and mother, living happily ever after, having that family. And it was all I dreamed of. And then as the years wore on and I was actually living this life, like being married, being a mother was my actual day-to-day reality. It wasn't that I felt like I made a mistake or that I had regrets. It's just that it was just a thought in my mind like, damn, I did not know. I had no clue how hard this was going to be, how much it was going to take out of me, how depleted and tired and frustrated I was going to be being a wife and being a mother. And that's why I'm one of those women in their 50s that would tell a young woman that maybe getting married is not the best idea, because you have to have some real understanding and clarity about what your life is going to look like in reality, not what you dream of, not what other people have, not what you see on TV or read in a book, like what it's really going to be like on a day-to-day basis. And I have to say, my husband, my children made my life harder on a daily basis. I loved him. I love them. I still love them. Obviously, I have custody of my kids. I'm still taking care of them and still have a life with them. I'm always going to be their mother. But my life is a lot harder. It is a lot harder because of those kids and because of that man.
I think she said it in this video. I think one of the reasons why we feel like life is harder or more difficult with a husband and children, or just with either or, is because we can go into it with this fantasy mindset. Like, you have this idea in your head and you have fallen in love with the idea, but you have not accepted what the reality of that looks like, right? I will not sit here and tell you that, oh, marriage is the easiest thing I've ever done. Motherhood is the easiest thing I've ever done, because it's not. It's difficult. Our son just had his birthday party this weekend. And when I tell you we are exhausted, we are exhausted. Like, it was a lot. Planning everything, buying everything, putting it all together, being mommy, being daddy. It was absolutely a lot, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. I think we have to set aside the fantasy that we have. This everything's going to be all perfect and it's going to be easy and it's going to be wonderful and they're going to appreciate everything that I do. We have to set that fantasy aside and recognize that we are all people. As a mom, I am a person. As a dad, he is a person. As a son, they are people, and they come with different emotions. They come with different attitudes. They come with different feelings. All of these things mesh together to create what your family life looks like. I will never discourage marriage and children. Never, ever, ever. What I will say is that you have to go into it understanding that there is a reality that exists and not the fantasy. We have this fantasy and things are not always roses. This is just not. Now, if you have a marriage that is miserable, that's a different conversation. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm more so talking about going into a relationship, a marriage, motherhood, fatherhood, all of these things with this idea and not being able to let go of the idea. I truly believe that's where we fail, when we want to live in the fantasy of it and we cannot accept what the reality actually looks like.
But the interesting thing about this, as I was listening to her, my question is, did the marriage and the children make her life harder in general, or was it just harder than the fantasy she had?
I think let me back up, because I can't speak for her, but I think that is a part of letting go of that fantasy, because you have this fantasy, and with that fantasy you don't add in the difficulty of it. Mm-hmm. It's just all fantasy. It's all this perfect thing, and even when there is difficulty there, you you fantasize about getting through that difficulty with ease.
But you know what's also crazy about this, at least in my mind, living through this and realizing that your fantasy is not panning out the way that you wanted it. So now you're thinking that, okay, this has made my life harder. But because of that fantasy and not being able to let go of that fantasy, what it has done is created another fantasy. Because now the fantasy is, what if I didn't have all this? My life would be so much easier. You actually don't know if your life would be much easier. Your life could have been tragic, actually, a lot worse. So we can't sit up here and say that my husband and my children made my life harder, full stop, and just leave it at that. Because we don't know what would have happened and what could have happened. And again, you're living off of two different fantasies, one from before and one from now to the future. So I don't really know how we reconcile this and just say that just because of the other people around me, that's what made my life worse or harder.
Absolutely. And again, I don't in no way discredit her that a husband and the children made her life harder. That's the reality that she lived, and that's her truth, as y'all like to say. What I will say, and this is just my humble opinion, that maybe having a husband, having children made my life a little bit more difficult, but it also made my life fuller. It made it more enjoyable. Do I still have difficult times with my husband and my children? Absolutely. But I also have this great joy. Again, our son's birthday party was this weekend and he had a blast. And so, yes, I got off work on Friday. I came home. We did the whole trick-or-treating thing. We had a movie night that we didn't get through because we were so tired. And the next day we had to have his birthday party and we were exhausted and it was difficult, but he had a blast. He enjoyed every minute of it. So yes, my day was hard, but man, all those hugs and kisses and thank yous that I got from that little boy, fulfilled. It doesn't matter that it was hard. It was difficult. I was tired. I was exhausted. My back was hurt. My head was hurt. None of that mattered to me because my baby had a blast.
And, I'll say this as my last point. Reality is not all roses. So in these situations, when you get into marriages or you start having kids, you're quickly brought into reality of what that takes and understanding that you were never prepared for this reality. So it appears to be extremely difficult or the hardest thing you ever had to do and your life is ruined and all this stuff. It appears that way. But again, reality is not roses. It's not going to be easy for anyone. But I think if we take the time to prepare our kids better for these types of scenarios, then maybe things will be just reality and it won't be so hard.
I think men do a great job, maybe too good of a job, setting expectations, right? And I was looking at or thinking about Texas and A&M and how Texas won, and my brother made a very good statement, a very true statement that we've seen over the years, time and time again, every Thanksgiving. And for a while, Texas and A&M weren't playing. I think it's a Saturday after Thanksgiving, but they weren't playing because different conferences and things of that nature. But you have to throw the stats out of the window when these two get together, because it's what your Texas is really going to do. A&M this year, they got a real good team, and what it looks like versus what it actually is. That's why you got to play the game. That's why you got to play the game. It's always like that. Every single time you got to play the game, right? And if it comes out, that's what we expected. But a lot of times it doesn't. A lot of times, the human, the man or the woman, they come out deciding, hey, I'm going to break out of the norm. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to give my all. This is going to be my quote unquote Super Bowl or my NBA championship. And we're going to fight to the death. And they end up beating them. They end up overcoming them. And that once that adrenaline keeps going or starts, it keeps going. And there's not really a lot that you can do about it. You can fight and you can try to beat talent and stuff like that. But sometimes, talent is just not going to get it. Period. That's why you have a lot of these couples that look good on paper, but they're trash because we look great. I'm thinking about another show. I can't remember the name of it, but my barber was watching it. She was saying, "Oh man, this is a great show." So we were watching it together while she was cutting my hair, and you had these couples. A couple of them were trainers. They were trainers, and they were fit. They're fit. I won't say trainer, but like, oh yeah, we got this. We're in the gym. Good looking couple, right? And there were like 2 or 3 other couples down there, and the third couple. I think the third couple, they were talking their trash too because they kind of had a little muscle on them, both of a man and the woman. And then the kind of the middle couple there, they were less confident. The woman was. She was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this, and this. And essentially what they had to do was they were suspended over the water and they were leaning back, and they had to hold on to their weight. They had it made up in a way to where they had to, each couple had to like hold their weight, and it was about teamwork, right? When the weight gets heavy for one, you got to tell one, take a break, or, okay, give me a little bit more weight, or give me a little less weight, or I'm having a tough time. And it was direct correlation to what happens in a relationship. And it was really, it was a game, but it was a beautiful concept, right? And so these couples 1 and 3, they're talking and they're doing all of this trash talk, right? Oh yeah, I don't lose. I'm really competitive. Yeah, me too. Couple 1, the loudest one, ended up being the first one in that water. You cannot let that weight drop past a certain point or you lose. And they did. And all of a sudden, click, that pulley system or whatever it is, that hook system released because they failed. I got it. No, I got it. And each one of them got it, and they didn't got it. They didn't have it. You don't got it. But that couple, and the woman was like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this. Man was talking her through it the entire time. No, don't worry about it. We got it. We're going to do it. I know this, and this. It was confidence. It wasn't cockiness. It wasn't bragging. No, I'm able to do this. I'm able to do that. Thinking about the reality of the situation, assessing your strengths and saying, okay, this is what they're looking for. How can I do it? Number 1. Number 2, how can I lead her to do it? That's masculinity, right? And her listening, femininity, and following his lead. And I'll tell you something. She got in there and she started to panic just a little bit. But he said, no, be all right. Let's do this, and this. And he took some of the weight off of her and he eased it back on. Took some off and he eased it back on. Okay, I need you to spell me a little bit. I'm going to give a little bit more to you. Okay, I got it. You got it? All right, I got it. And she took a little bit more of the weight, and he took a little spell, and he eased back on there. And they went on ahead, and they beat both of the teams that were talking trash. That's the reality of it. Give and take, push and pull. That's what relationships look like. And I remember her videos when she was talking about the man won't give me this, he won't do that, and I will tell women this, and this. You don't need to be telling women anything, because you don't know what the heck you were doing. You don't know what you were doing from the jump. You were too busy fantasizing like a lot of modern women do. And then you went in there and started messing stuff up. Then you get out of the relationship and you want to start blaming men and your kids. Oh, I love them to death. Why are you blaming them for something that you couldn't do? You knew you didn't know how to do it right. Why don't you just go ahead and tell the world, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no clue. They make my life harder. You make your life harder by not knowing what you're getting into. And you can't know everything. But y'all don't even do no research. Y'all don't go to count. Y'all sit up there and I went to therapy. I did the inner work, but y'all don't go to no premarital counseling. Y'all don't talk to nobody. Y'all don't vet the man. Oh, it's going to be like this. It's going to look like that. Y'all don't read no books, listen to no podcasts or any videos or any guidelines. Hey, what are some of the questions that I should ask my partner before I get married? And y'all don't take those questions or study some of those questions before you get in there and say, okay, how can I figure out how to ask this question on the phone? Okay, how can I figure out how to ask this question on a date? Because I got to get the answers. I got to know if we're going in the same direction, right? But I don't want to ask it outright to where it's off-putting, but I do want to get this question answered. Y'all are not doing that. Y'all are not intentional. Y'all say y'all are, but you're not. And you end up looking like you, 53 years old, with bad advice. You were bad at it then and you're bad at it now. So you need to keep your own, respectfully, you need to keep your advice to yourself because you don't know what the heck you're talking about.